now, the Police and Prison Civil Rights Union wants a summit to address the country's crime challenges. The union gave an update earlier following a special NEC meeting on Wednesday. The meeting focused on a wide range of issues, including the country's alarming crime and violence rates. NCA's Govan Whittles is covering the story and he joins us now. Good afternoon, Govan. So they're looking for a crime summit. I know for the longest time now we've been having all these imbizos, and quite a lot of people have had very unforgiving things or very concerning things to say about the police and their conduct insofar as crime is concerned and perhaps colluding with criminals. So it's only fair that Pop Crew would now rise to the occasion and say perhaps something needs to be done. Talk to us about what they have resolved should be done.
What's interesting about this call for the crime summit is that they're calling for it to respond to the under-resourcing of the police, which they primarily blame for the rising crime rate. Pop Crew saying after the NEC, they've decided or they've analyzed the situation in the country to be the outcome of budget cuts for the police and not enough police on the streets. They say there are about 100,000 police on the streets, about 150,000 police in general, but they're saying the most senior of them are stuck in the offices and there just aren't enough people on the streets. So first they would like more police to be employed, but they're acknowledging that corruption exists within the police, not only at a national or provincial level, but at each police station across the country. Although they describe that corruption as isolated and say that they may have a different view in how they should be responding to the rising crime rate, and they don't agree that the police are to blame, and they're willing to go to a crime summit to put together a comprehensive plan for policing and also address what they call isolated incidents of corruption within the police. Let's listen to the Pop Crew General Secretary on their call for this crime summit and why it's necessary.
Special NEC resolve on a call for an urgent crime summit, which should, among other things, look into escalating levels of violent crime, abuse on women and children, drug trafficking, the rehabilitation of unused mine as part of the challenges facing policing in the country. To achieve this, Bob is calling upon on all communities, police, criminal justice, policing agencies, peace and stability groups, academia, and stakeholders that should play a pivotal role in averting a potential disastrous situation wherein criminality grows unabated. We are not calling for just a talk show. We are calling for a crime summit or crime indaba that will have a clear objectives that we are going to be able to evaluate quarterly to check that all the resolutions that are taken in that crime summit are implemented. Combating crime should not only solely be seen as a police issue, but needs all stakeholders, especially the communities, to come on board and play a role through having good working relations with police.
So, Govan, they say it shouldn't be a talk shop like all the other indabas or summits that we've seen. They want clear guidelines and these must be implemented. But that element of them labeling this which we've seen, a common thread of somehow criticizing policing, they're saying these are isolated incidents.
They are indeed. They insist that the police, by and large, are committed to fighting crime and that any failure to arrest the increase of the crime rate shouldn't be put down to the police, they say, but instead should be put down to the deteriorating relationship between the police and communities and the under-resourcing of police. And they say the low morale of police. What's interesting here is that Pop Crew is also planning to march to the union buildings next month to ask for more money for the police. And they're warning government that even though the police are declared an essential service, they won't hesitate to exercise their right to march to the union buildings, but they'll consider a strike if their demands are not met. And they say that the treatment of the police in South Africa leaves a lot to be desired. They're calling on the communities to treat the police better, while at the same time acknowledging that there is distrust between the communities and the police. But Pop Crew, being the representative of the police, they've come out with a united voice in defense of police, but also hoping to raise some of the challenges which police face that they say is the real reason why they can't fight crime effectively. And they have a number of strategies that they hope to implement to fight different forms of crime. Let's listen to the General Secretary again and what he had to say about gender-based violence and their plan for this.
The special NEC reflected on the issues below. On the Women's Month, special NEC noted with disappointment that this year, Women's Month was met with a gruesome, horrific event wherein a group of young women had been brutalized and raped at the Krugersdorp area, and many other such cases that happen behind closed doors and never get to be in the public domain. Not only in the gender-based violence, a continuous cancer which is taking the lives of people and the women and children in particular. But it is a pandemic we need to tackle collectively. On our part as a union, we continue to support our gender structures, educating our membership, and conducting workshops with the Safer South Africa Foundation and various stakeholders in raising awareness about this scourge.